Hey friends, happy holiday weekend. We've got friends over in the chat. Hello to all of you. Thank you for being here. I am so happy to be back on our regular Saturday 1 p.m. time spots. It's been a couple weeks. I know I was gone last week, so no live stream, always okay. And then the week before that, we moved it to a Friday because I had some stuff going on. So always a-okay. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. All of my favorites. Well, everyone's my favorite, So we got to spread the love everywhere. But thank you so very much everyone for being here. Oh, San Diego. San Diego is my favorite. I love San Diego. We got a lot of good California people. I've seen like 3 people from California. And then Judy, we got another person from Illinois. Hello, Illinois neighbor. All right. Oh my goodness. Barbara, I had a wonderful vacation. I'll talk about that for a little bit before we get into some crafting. So my husband, for Christmas, I got him tickets to go see Cynthia Erivo's one-woman show of Dracula. Dracula is his favorite book. So we saw it. It was fantastic. It was really artistic. It was almost like she was using the stage as like a sound stage, because there was a bunch of camera crews and whatnot. It was very cool, very different. We had a little bit of drama though, because on our way out, our flight got delayed due to maintenance for 19 hours. So we had to kind of scramble. We ended up getting a flight out that same night, but we had to do a layover in Dublin. So it was not expected. It was also a very short trip, so we didn't want to lose any time. But it was fun. We had a great time. We ended up seeing actually 4 different shows. We love going to see different shows, and what's great about going to London and the West End, tickets there are a chunk more affordable than if you were to like go see Broadway shows. And I believe from what I've learned, it's that the government in the United Kingdom helps subsidize the cost of theater tickets. So you're able to go see some really great shows at some really great prices. We had fantastic seats for most of our shows. One of them we were in the first row and we paid like $40. But that was more of a play. It's not one of like the big ticket musical places, but still, that's okay. But oh my goodness. So yes, we had a great time. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Now, all right, so let's get into a little bit of what we're going to be doing today. Y'all know I like to feature whatever brands are my favorite, especially when they come up with a brand new release. And I was a little bummed that the Pretty Pink Posh release was last week when we were on vacation. And I wanted to make sure to play with it with you guys because I think it's just so stinking cute. I know that Pretty Pink Posh always knocks it out of the park when it comes to their like regular seasonal releases or holiday releases. Always so super fun. But every once in a while, there's a release that comes out that has a theme that isn't necessarily seasonal, and it's just super cute. And this one was all about like your backyard and bugs, and I just absolutely loved it. Like I said, initially I was a little bummed that I had to postpone a week out because I would have loved to do it with you guys last week, but in the meantime, and I think this is kind of how all things kind of end up working out perfectly, Pretty Pink Posh announced a couple days ago that they're doing a Memorial Day sale this weekend. Now, they're not including the most recent release. That's pretty common across the industry, of course. But they are including all other products that you can get for 20% off. And so it kind of put a light bulb off of my brain. I'm like, we're going to combine some old and new, and we're going to have a lot of fun making a card together today. So I have pulled a couple products that are from this new release, and I've pulled a couple of my favorites from the last release, and not last release, other releases. Some of them might even be a handful of years old at this point, but it's okay, and we're going to have some fun together. So let's go ahead. We're going to flip the camera down so you can see my workspace, and then we're going to get to a little bit of crafting. Let me get this over here first. All right. There we go. All right. So we have a handful of components that we're going to put together today to make our project. And I had promised in my post that we were going to do something a little bit on the fandom side of things. And we're doing that because we are going to play around with do I have any Bugs Life fans out there? Because it's one of my favorite movies. And I think it's just so cute. I can't believe it's pretty old at this point. It's like one of the original Pixar films. I want to say it might even be from the 90s. I don't think it's from the 2000s. I think it's from the 90s. And when I saw this caterpillar holder die, I could not help but think of Heimlich from Bug's Life. So we are going to create Heimlich today, and we're going to make a really cute birthday card because, you know, he's our little, like, chubby little caterpillar. We're not going to do the butterfly form of him, and that's totally okay. But we're going to have fun. We're going to make a little fandom-inspired card, making a birthday card. Heimlich's going to get a little bit of birthday cake, and we're going to go along with it. So I think it's going to be really fun today. So as always, if you have any questions or concerns, concerns is not a word I think about when I do lives, but here I am. Any questions about anything I'm doing, make sure to just drop it in the comments, and then we will play around with that. Now, what we're going to start with, let's do a little bit of ink blending with our Heimlich. And now with our die, I am going to use the two different body dies that are included with this. Let me grab it so I can show you. So for the caterpillar holder die, we've got an actual body of the caterpillar that it's all one piece. And I love this, super easy, super straightforward. But what we're also using is this piece that helps kind of segment each of the parts of his body. And what we're going to use is this solid piece is going to be our base, and then we're going to adhere all of these other pieces on top of it. So we're going to do a little bit of ink blending as well. And I was a little stumped because if you know what Heimlich looks like, he's got some color ombres going on. And I wanted to figure out the best way that I could capture that to show everybody. And I think I came up with a pretty good idea, but it's going to have me talking a little bit about the difference about using distress inks and oxide inks, because we're going to dabble with both today. Distress inks are going to, let me grab them. So here's just two that I have that we're going to be using in today's card. Distress inks are like a standard dye ink. So that means that they're going to get applied to your paper. They're going to saturate the paper. They're going to dry pretty quickly. And they're not really going to sit on top of the paper. And that's okay. Like if you're going to, I love using my distress inks when I'm blending similar colors. So like if I'm blending any sort of a blue, Peacock Feathers distress ink is going to be absolutely wonderful for this. And we have Paulina here. Hello, Paulina. I'm just talking about how much I love your release and how this little caterpillar reminds me of the movie It's a Bug Life. So we're going to definitely have some fun with that today. So thanks so much for being here. No worries if you got to pop in and out. That goes for everyone. And plus, you can always catch a replay. Now, oxide inks, on the other hand, oxide inks have pigment qualities, which means, and it also has dye qualities as well. It's what's considered a hybrid ink. And because it does have some of those pigment qualities, it sits on top of your paper, which actually makes it a great candidate if you want to put it on top of not similar colors. So I'm actually going to be able to use this Candied Apple today on top of this Lemon Lime cardstock from scrapbook.com. I did a test before. It does work. I did not want to make mud, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we were like going good with it. So I'm going to kind of coach you along the way for how this is going to work with our ink blending. So I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're just going to do some standard blending. And I picked two colors of oxide inks that I think really are going to help capture the body of this caterpillar, but also we're going to use the cardstock color of the lemon lime itself to really help. So let's go in and get some ink blending done. So I'm not going to blend onto this. Like I said, we're going to blend on each of the smaller segments, and we're going to start with the headpiece. So let's grab my two mini foam blending tools. So I've got these, and this is what we're going to be using. I'm a huge proponent of using foam blending tools, not brushes, when it comes to my oxide inks, just because I feel like it can get a little clumpy over time, and that's okay. So what I'm going to do is using my Lucky Clover oxide ink, I'm going to go in and just sort of blend up the sides of his face, just like that. And we're going to kind of go a little on the lighter side, just because we want to get a nice ombre. We still want to see how this Lucky Clover transitions into that lemon lime of our cardstock. It really is a substantial size, Barbara. I actually, because I think it's the largest holder in the collection of holders from Pretty Pink Posh. And it kind of has, I had to think about how I wanted to do my layout with him. And we came up with a really fun one. And actually, I was really happy that we selected this because I ended up finding a die cut that we're going to use as our sentiment piece. And it worked so perfectly with how this little guy is situated. So we're just going to go in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this one in steps first. So we'll actually do the full face. But I think the rest I might do one color all the way through. And if I haven't said hello to you yet, hello to everyone who is here. Thank you so much for being here. We got a little bit of... I think I spit on my paper on accident. That's okay. All right. So we've got the key to our face kind of situated with this little guy. And what we're going to do next is we're going to go in with some Mermaid Lagoon and kind of blend just the outskirt because he does have a little bit of blue going on. And I thought that this Mermaid Lagoon color would do a really nice job to kind of play with that. So we're just going to kind of go in, blend those sides, and give it that nice little blue shine. Just like this. So now you can see how we took our little die cut and really transformed it with some ink blending. Now we're going to come back to this piece later because I actually want to add a little bit of red ink to it, but I want to do that at the end. Hello, Kristen. Thanks for being here, friend. All right, so now let's move on to our body piece. And like I said, I think we're going to kind of do it in groups by color batches. So let's go in and do all of our Lucky Clover first. So then go in with Lucky Clover. I might have to redo the head just because I got a little bit of a water spot on there, but we'll see how I feel. I might do some splattering that would cover that up. Kind of go in, and we're just blending around the edges of the body piece. And I'm doing the bottom and sides. I'm not going to do the top, and this is going to help create some really nice dimension. Good afternoon to you too. Thanks for being here. Now, I do have all of the products we're using in today's live stream in my bio, so it's all linked. So if anything today catches your interest, be sure to use those links to go ahead and check them out. Also, I do have the promo code for the 20% off Memorial Day sale in my description as well. And I will be using a couple products later on that will be eligible for that promo. All right, just like that. All right. Next, this bigger one, I think it's this. So you can kind of map out which is which. Just going to kind of keep going down, keep blending my Lucky Clover. Just like this. All right, perfect. Just kind of keep it going. All right, so we got that. Now our next piece, let's see. Like I said, I can kind of keep mapping out which piece comes next. So it's going to be this one. Just keep on using my foam blending tool to blend this up, just like that. Now, I really like how my Oxide inks blend on my cardstock, and this is the new heavyweight premium cardstock from scrapbook.com. What I love about this cardstock is that it's really smooth, so it's easy to blend your Oxide inks onto. That's a quality I always look for when I'm using cardstocks. Some cardstocks just come with like a natural sort of grain to them, and that's okay. All cardstocks are not necessarily meant to be created the same, but I like to pay attention attention to which ones are on the smoother side because I know I can ink blend really well with them. And this heavyweight premium cardstock does really well. All of the papers that I'm going to be using today, except I have a very little bit of black paper that I'm going to be using, is from the premium heavy stock line of scrapbook.com. It's actually all part of a variety pack too. So scrapbook.com recently launched their own line of cardstock, and the heavyweight, they just came out with a pack. I think it's 10 or 12 different colors. So you can utilize that to get as many colors as you want of it. And I'm realizing I needed to grab a different color for later on in our card, but we'll get there later. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of keep blending. I agree, Judy. It really does make a big change. It's some really nice shading, and it really affects how the overall project is going to look. I mean, because we're basically going to be able to line this all up and just sort of see what they compare to. Like, it's a big difference with the ink blending. And I do think I'm going to do maybe a little bit of splattering, but we'll see. All right, now let's go in and go in with some Mermaid Lagoon. So I'm going to take that Mermaid Lagoon ink. I'm going to wipe my workspace just to kind of prevent any cross-contamination. And then we're going to go in, start with the body. I don't know, I'm thinking about splattering. I don't know if I want to, because I also got to make sure that the parts that I do that are red don't get splattered. So I'm going to go in with that Mermaid Lagoon ink and just sort of blends the edges because it gives that nice blue hue to it that Heimlich has. It doesn't make it entirely blue, but it just gives that little bit of it. All right, so we've got this piece. Let's go on to the next piece. Y'all know I love my ink blending, so I was really excited to come up with this sort of idea and really transform this die cut with y'all. Let's go in and just sort of blend that up. Just like that. Perfect. Just kind of keep going. Yeah, we might redo that head, and that's okay. That happens. Hello, Mayhem. Well, I know that's not your name. It's not Mayhem, but thank you for being here. Never can be late. Even when there's a replay, even if you miss it entirely, you're not late. All right, just kind of keep blending. All right, and then this one. See, that's the thing when I do my live streams is I always just go off of what someone's username is. And sometimes it's so easy that, like, Kristen, cut and dry, know her name's Kristen. Then sometimes other people comment. And I'm like, oh, no, I got to remember names. Darn it. I remember eventually. That's okay. Also, oh my goodness, I was going to talk about this. I had a crafting injury this week, and you guys can actually see it on my hand. So this is actually a crafting related injury, and it is not a burn in terms of like a heat burn, but it is kind of like, I would call it like a rug burn, but it's more of a stamp burn. You know how you're supposed to condition your new photopolymer stamps? Somebody told me once that you could do that by rubbing it against your skin. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I've done it like throughout the years, no big deal. But the other day I was doing like a solid stamp and it tore up my hand. And I'm like, we are not doing this again. So I'm going to make sure in the future when I'm conditioning my stamps to use like a designated tool or an eraser, because I'm like, oh my goodness, no more crafting injuries, especially when I've got a live stream coming up. We don't need we don't need scabs, you know. The Hungry Caterpillar book, that is so cute. That's a great idea. That is a great idea to do with this. So here you can kind of see how it all looks. And what I want to do before we get any further, I don't really love that I have this little piece right here that I got from accidentally splitting. So let's go in. I am going to grab my cardstock. Let me see if I can grab a piece of lemon lime. There's a piece. Put it all back. And I just want to kind of recut the head of the caterpillar. And I don't want to use the back side. That's okay. Stuff like this happens once in a while. So we're just going to kind of move this off to the side. And I just need to get kind of a duplicate piece going to blend. And we'll replicate. This stuff happens. I don't like when it happens because it feels wasteful, but it's okay. All right. Let's get my little guy out. And we're just going to do a really quick sort of fix with this. I just got to make sure. Yep, there we go. And I'll actually have enough pieces that if I wanted to make another one, I could, but we'll set those aside for later. It's totally okay. It's just one little die cut. I have done so much worse crafting damage on accident. So this is just a little blip. Not a problem at all. So let's go ahead and take my extra pieces and tuck them off to the side so I don't get confused. Boring under much me doing it boring, not the design. Oh, you know what though? I don't think doing this without ink blending is boring. I actually think that there are some really fun ways that you could not ink blend and just use some really fun cardstock and like different color palettes that it would make it really fun. So I would not say that that's boring by not doing ink blending at all. All right, so we're going to try this once again. And I'm going to try my best not to spit so we don't have another casualty. And if we do have a casualty, we're just going to choose which of the two we like the most. Hello, Dan. Thanks for being here. All right, so we're going to go in, just sort of blend this out. And I am just being picky. If it wasn't the face, I probably would have just let it go. But we need to do a little bit with the face, and I want it to look its best. So we're just going to kind of go in, blend it nicely, bring this in, just like that. All right. Perfect. I say this lovingly. I'm not mad at anybody. It's going to come across that way, though. I was frustrated when I was just about to start my live. One of my friends had messaged and started a conversation about planning a Disney trip for her family, not for me. I mean, you never know. I can always coerce myself into going in there. And I'm like, oh, now I want to focus on this, but we've got a live stream to do. So I was like, oh, it's like anybody mentions like a Disney trip and planning, and my mind just goes whoosh. So... And I'm like, right before a live stream, like literally, I just started the countdown too. And I'm like, ugh. That's okay though. You never know. I always think about like, what would it look like to become like a Disney travel planner, you know? All right, just gonna go. Perfect. You know what? We're gonna go in. Just kind of make sure it's nice and blended. Great. All right, there we go. This one, we're going to keep this one. Okay, so we've got kind of all of our pieces, but I still need to do a little bit of ink blending with this. And I think I'm going to do it after we get the face put on. So when it comes to the faces, oh, and you know what? I totally agree. Pretty Pink Posh has like the cutest eyes. And I've even talked to Paulina about it. What I love so much about them is it's like you're saying, it is so straightforward how to assemble them. There's like no guessing work. And it's one of my favorite things about Pretty Pink Posh products. Like I think for anybody can create really fun stuff with Pretty Pink Posh. I think for people who are like dipping their toes into like using die cuts, I would full-fledged tell someone to try Pretty Pink Posh products, because if you're not going to do your ink blending, you just want easy things that are cute to assemble, that are still going to make adorable and perfect projects, Pretty Pink Posh is so the way to go with that. One of my absolute favorite things. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get the his little smiley face ready. And if you caught my release hop video, which went out last week, I almost lost my smiley face. I did this tip in there about how I like to position my smiley face, and I think that it's a really good thing to keep in mind. So I want to show you guys. So what I do is I do the smile first, and I figure out on my project where I want my smile to go. And so I just kind of, let's see, I should look at it kind of straight on. Let's say kind of middle, like there. And Justin. See, it's hard for me sometimes to work that way. This is a little easier. So we're going to get our guy just like that. Perfect. And then I actually, because Paulina is so fantastic when designing her dies, she keeps the eyes and the mouth all in the same piece. I keep the negative and I line it up. And then I don't put the eyes actually in place, but I do 2 little glue dots. Very minimal in the glue. You don't want too much. And then I just sort of carefully peel it up. And I've got 2 little dots, and I know that's how I can map out where the eyes are supposed to go. So I'll just kind of pop them into place, just like that. And then they're pretty perfectly mapped out. And I've got like perfect eye and mouth placement, and it makes it super simple. So I love that. I need to find a mushroom and do an Alice in Wonderland scene. Michelle, I thought about that for today too with this guy. I'm like, I wish there was even, and I know that like this would be really hard to find. I wish I could find like a cigar or like a hookah sort of something. Like it would be so perfect to make that blue caterpillar. Oh, I agree that I wanted to do fandom. Heimlich is what I had, of course, settled on, but the blue caterpillar definitely caught my eyes. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about getting some red on here. Now, like we have talked about when it talks about the color wheel in your crafting, you don't want to mix opposite colors because you make mud. However, when you are working with Oxide inks on colored cardstock, you will not make mud. At least not initially. You just kind of got to go in easy. So I am going to take, this is a 0+ shader brush from Waffle Flower because I wanted something small. And what we're going to do, let me just test this on here first. I just want to do some rosy cheeks. I just kind of want to map out what this is going to look like. And I think we're going to be very happy. All right, so we're going to go in. We're just going to give them some cute rosy cheeks. And I'm trying not to overly mix it with the green that we laid down. I'm going to try to get it pretty equal on both sides. So we're just going to kind of go in and see how that candied apple ink really sits nicely on top of this. Super, super cute. Look at that. It's a little, maybe a little uneven. Maybe he was a little not fully awake yet when he put his makeup on, but that's okay. Ha ha ha. That's a little joke. A vase, that could be really cute. That's a great idea. And then we're also going to go in and we're going to blend just the top towards down of his antennas. Just like that. Just like this. Isn't it adorable? Just a fun little way to really give this guy some personality. And I love how this candied apple oxide ink is layering on top of this lemon lime cardstock. I also love that we're using reds and greens together and it doesn't look like Christmas. That's always one of my things. It's like, I'm not like, red and green for Christmas is fine. Like, but otherwise, like, it's kind of hard to combine those colors and have it not look like Christmas. But we're doing it. We're doing it today. And I think this is just so stinking cute. You know what, though? Now that I think about it, I think we may need to do a little bit of red to his hands. Because I think he's got like kind of red sort of mitts on. Do we want to do this? Do we want to not do it? Let's see. I think we can do it. Now, one thing I'm going to have to remember is I'm using Oxide inks on with this little shader brush. We'll do a little wipe over here. I don't want to cross-contaminate my inks until I clean this off. So I'll have to make sure to really sort of clean this off before inking it up again. So just kind of going in. Now this red isn't as vibrant because it's got a little bit more of that Lucky Clover and that Mermaid Lagoon, but it still is going to look super cute. And it looks like he's got little red hands. So we're going to flip it over to this side. This is one of those extra pieces that I die cut. And what's really nice is it tucks super nicely into his little hands. So we're going to go in, sort of add a little bit like this. Just kind of keep going in until we're happy with how it looks and it matches the other hand. Just like that. Oh my goodness. How cute is this? All right, there we go. We'll pull this out. And now he's got little red hands. So I think this is just too stinking cute. So, all right. I'm already thinking about there's a couple things that I didn't grab, and we'll get them eventually. I don't need them yet. Let's put our little guy together, because I think once we get this all assembled, he is just going to be so darn perfect. But I'm thinking about it might actually make the most sense for me to put this together after we ink blend his little cake piece. So let's do that. So now I've got another die set we're going to bring in. And I decided, I was going through my collection and I kind of wanted to give him food to hold. I didn't know what to do. I had looked at some Halloween related sets and there were some candy pieces. And I even saw that like with the Halloween holder, there was a lollipop and I thought about giving him a lollipop because I thought that that was adorable. But then I came across this older set and it's not that old, but it's a couple years old and it's the birthday mug editions. And I got so excited at the idea first of him holding a little slice of birthday cake with a candle on it. And I was like, let's run with this. Let's give him a colorful piece of birthday cake. And that's what Heimlich's going to be holding. Because of course he wants a piece of cake. It's a birthday. But then this set also comes with this sentiment that says it's your day. And I'm like, that's going to be it. That's our sentiment for this card. So I die cut pieces out for both of these and let's start getting those put together. So this birthday mug editions die set, because it's older, it is one of the sets that qualifies for that 20% off Memorial 26 promo code. So if this is not a set you have, this is a great set to make birthday cards. This is also a great opportunity to grab the base, the mug set. I think it's called the Winter Mug, which you can decorate. There are so many fantastic designs that you can add to it to customize for so many occasions. So definitely keep that in mind with the sale that's going on this weekend. All right, so now let's go in. Let's do a little bit of ink blending. And we're going to start with some picked raspberry. And then this is still that scrapbook.com premium heavyweight cardstock. This color is called Rose Chintz. So we're going to go in with some picked raspberry. I wanted to stick to the same sort of family of inks. So I'm not jumping around to another brand. We're doing all distress today. But now I'm pulling in, remember I talked about that distress inks work really nicely on colored cardstock when you want to blend them with a similar color. So since we're doing a pink on pink, this goes together so nicely. So I'm just going to kind of go in. I'm going to ink blend. But we are going to layer a couple extra pieces on this. So some of this is going to get covered up. Just kind of going in, getting this nice blended. Try not to spit on it to get any water spots. You know, story of my life. All right, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got cake. Cake body of the cake. So then we're going to go in And we've got the 2 little pieces of cake. And this is from Antique Gold. I don't know if you guys have like a favorite cake flavor, but for whatever reason with me, it's not my favorite. But I'm never mad at a good slice of a yellow cake. And so I'm like, we're going to do yellow cake for this birthday slice. So now I do want to make sure I get these on the right edges. And I think that we should be okay. Yes. Just want to make sure that when we adhere them, they're all going to go into the right spot. So I thought a yellow cake with a pink frosting. Now, you do you. It could be strawberry frosting. It could be just like pink funfetti frosting. Maybe you're like a little different. You wanted like a wild cherry frosting. Whatever works. Raspberry frosting. We're just going to say pink and yellow, and I knew this was going to go together really cute. Now, the one thing, though, when we're working with yellows is that it can be kind of hard to shade with yellow. So I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of brushed corduroy and apply it really lightly just to give a little bit of shading. I keep on forgetting. I got to bring this closer to the camera. So I'm just going to kind of go in and add a little bit of shading to this to the bottom edge, just like that. Yellow cake with chocolate icing. Judy, my mom used to make that for me so much growing up. It was either yellow cake with chocolate frosting or chocolate cake with vanilla frosting. And I still love both of them. And to me, there's nothing better sometimes than a good old box mix cake. You know, the other day, my group of friends was getting together, and one of my friends who was going to bring a dessert to the get together had to call out because she was sick. And I'm like, well, I got to bring something for dessert just because, like, we have to eat dessert. And it was funny because I was not the only friend who thought this and brought multiple food. But anyway, so I was like, well, what can I do? And I decided to pick up a funfetti yellow cake mix and make cupcakes. And I was like, this is perfect. Mid-30s, all of us, and here we are eating funfetti cupcakes, and not a single soul was mad about it. But let me know in the comments if you guys have a favorite cake. I'd love to know that. But you guys have good taste when it comes to cake. I'm also a huge cheesecake fan. Oh my goodness. But that's also like my inner Golden Girls fan coming out as well. I actually just went to Cheesecake Factory with my mom the other day. We had lunch. And it's hard because like I work with my parents, so we'll go out to lunch every once in a while, but it's not like sit back and luxuriate and like enjoy yourself. It's like, okay, but we got to go back to work. So I usually, if we do Cheesecake Factory, I don't order a slice, and I didn't this time, but I was like, I'm like, I could really go for like Adam's peanut butter fudge cup ripple cheesecake right now. Ooh, so good. All right, so we've got these 2 little pieces of cake all blended. Perfect. And then this, I didn't talk in detail. This is a 1+ shader. These are from Waffle Flower. I like using them for my smaller die cuts. And then I have the candle, and I wanted to do kind of a teal color. And this is, what's the name of this? It is Tropical Sea, still part of the variety pack from the heavyweight cardstock at scrapbook.com. Just kind of go in and blend this to the bottom. We're going to come back to this peacock feathers in a little bit too. But I am realizing I'm going to have to grab like an orange ink in a second for the flame of the candle. Oh, I agree, Barbara. It's so good. And see it in Paulina too, cheesecake. Oh, a good slice of cheesecake is just like one of the best things. I have a recipe. I'm not, maybe I'm tooting my own horn a little bit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with America's Test Kitchen. It was, I think it's still on, but I could be wrong. It's a PBS show. And it's just like a science-based kitchen that they just test a bunch of recipes to come up with like the best possible like flavor profile recipe of like everything. And I bought their cookbook, and it's like an encyclopedia. It's like this thick. I always say it's like the perfect gift to give someone as a housewarming present. But anyways, there is a recipe in there for a New York style cheesecake, and it is so good. It is such a process, and it is quite the bit of ingredients required. But let me go ahead. I'm gonna grab. I just gotta get my. We'll do wild honey, and then I also wanted to grab a splatter. What splatter do we want to do today? Let's do. we'll see about this one working. Maybe I'll use something else. We'll see. All right, so let's get that wild honey. And I'm going to go in, just sort of blend the bottom a little bit. Don't need to do too much. I probably could have skipped this part in all honesty, but that's okay. Just like that. All right, a little bit of the flame. And then I'm also going to really quickly go in, and I want to make the wick of the candle white. So I'm just going to take a gel pen and just sort of add white to this. Just like that. And it'll make it white. It'll be perfect. All right. So now we can kind of put our little cake together. So I'm going to use my trusty my trusty tweezers. All right. It's a small little piece. And sometimes that happens. You know what? Like, sometimes you can find ways to bypass using smaller die cuts. I do all the time. But I really wanted to have a cute little flame on here. So that's why we're keeping it. All right, so we're going to go in. I feel like I just put glue in my precision glue press like a week or 2 weeks ago, maybe at this point. And I feel like it could use a little bit more. Maybe I just didn't fill it up all the way. All right, so we've got that. Oh yeah, that's looking like a slice of cake with the shading. I love that. All right, we're going to have our little teal candle. Perfect. Ah, didn't let it dry all the way. That's okay. There's that. And then I can do a little dot of glue right here. And just sort of pick it up and pop it down. Sometimes I get lucky that there's enough tack on my tweezers that I don't have to use like a pickup tool. And then other times I still have to. Just depends. But here we go. We got our little slice of cake. Just like that. I'm just kind of brushing off a little bit of that white gel pen I got on it. But I think this is super cute. And I also think that this is going to look so perfect with him holding this piece of cake for someone's birthday. So, all right. So what we're going to do next is let's start putting this together. So I am going to add some liquid adhesive on the back of this little slice of cake. Now, realistically, I don't condone holding a slice of cake without a plate, also very close to your body, once lit. Just my 2 cents. I feel like for legal purposes, I should mention that or something, right? So we're going to go in. I would like this to be kind of on the level side. But for the purpose of our card and for our little bug, he's allowed to hold a slice of cake. Oh, thank you so much. I think it's so cute. It's just like a little slice, just a little piece of birthday cake for our little cute guy. All right, so then we're going to go in and now we can kind of start putting this together. All right. So I'm just going to kind of adhere this one piece after another right on top of our body piece. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. I agree. I think this is going to be an adorable card. You know what's kind of funny is like we've spent all this time, we haven't even worked on our background yet. Because we're going to have some stencil fun too. So I've got an idea for that. Sorry, just kind of make sure this is nice and positioned into place. Awesome. It really does. I was so happy when I was going through my die stash and I came across this. I was like, ooh. But also, too, okay, there is the birthday holders die set, which I also own. So if you guys would prefer, the birthday holder set has a cupcake in there. I think like 2 variations of a cupcake that you can do. So if you're more of a cupcake person, or you feel more comfortable with that, by all means, do a cupcake instead of a slice of cake if that's what you have on hand. Or maybe you like this and you want to add it to your stash. Whatever makes sense. Isn't it cute? It is so cute. I think, oh, he's just adorable. Just adorable. And I think it fits his personality so much. Like, he's just kind of like, just happy to have food. I can appreciate that. So now we're just kind of following the design and putting each of our little dies into place. Just making sure everything follows. It really helps that for this piece, there's like a blunt area, so you know that it goes right there. So just like that. And then this. I was so happy to use this. I hadn't got a chance to play with this cutie yet. And I was like, you know, we have to play with this adorable caterpillar. We just have to. All right. Let's do last piece. You are always telling me how much that Mr. Posh enjoys my colors, and I always take it as the highest of praise, so I'm glad to hear he'll love this. You guys are also, Justin, my granddaughter said she needs a hockey stick. A hockey, that would be cute. A hockey stick, I mean, sports gear for the holders. You never know what's going to come. You never know. I know nothing about the inner workings of what's to come, but I don't think that, like, I think sports is a really fun theme that I could see eventually, you know? All right. So we got our cute little guy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on the background. So I got to kind of pull my stuff off to the side. And I have an idea of what we want to do. So I already told you guys what we're going to do for our sentiment. I have gone ahead and I've die cut using the Pierce Checker plate. This is the newest cover plate die that was just part of the May release. And we are going to use this as our background. And this guy is just going to kind of sit on there. But we're going to jazz it up a little bit. We have to, right? And I came up with a couple things that I would like to do. And the first is I'm going to pull in an older stencil. This came out, I think this is one of the spring releases of 2025. And we're going to use the line burst stencil. Now, of course, it would be really obvious to just put it right in the middle like this. But I'm actually going to use the center of our line burst, and I want it to be the center of where the cake is, and I feel like it's going to line up really nicely. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you guys so much. You are all so wonderful for being here, and thank you so much for all your kind words. I'm glad everyone's loving the piece of cake. I was very happy with coming up with it, so it makes me very happy to see everybody else very happy. All right, so I just kind of want to map out. So this is where I want my little critter to be. I also have the negative for our sentiment, and it's going to go kind of like this. And I just want to kind of map out exactly where the center is so I make sure it's covered. So let me see. Do I have a pencil? Because this will just kind of help me out a little bit. It's kind of going to be like here. And I know I'm marking it, and I think that's totally okay because I'm going to be able to go in and make sure it's placed accordingly. And we're going to move it over a little bit, just like that. Perfect. Let me make sure. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some mint tape just to kind of hold this down. And this is also going to mask off the parts of the paper that I don't want to accidentally ink blend, because I can be a little ambitious with my ink blending and accidentally go a little too far outside of the box. So that's okay though. Jennifer, I want cake too. Again, Kelly, I agree. This release is really fun. There are a lot of ways to use these products. I love when we throw in some of these releases that aren't necessarily like, just like happy spring. You know, this is like, you can use this year round, like, and we have so many fun holder sets, so you can really dress this guy up for any occasion. Like, you can give him, you can dress him up for Halloween. You can make him like, I could see a little like caterpillar vampire, you know, like you never know what you could see. So anyways, we're going to go in now and we're going to use that Peacock Feathers Distress ink. And I'm going to just go over the stencil from the center out. And I'm using a smaller, this is the small blending brush from Simon Hurley. And we're just going to kind of go from the center out. Now, originally, I did consider doing a paste instead of doing ink. And the reason I decided against it was because of the sentiment. I needed to lay flat against the background. And I thought that a paste would kind of affect that. So not doing it as a paste, just as an ink. I actually am wondering if I should. Nah, we'll be okay. I can make it darker with the same ink. So we're just going to kind of go in, blend it out, just like that. Now, this is also a fun stencil if you wanted to do a little bit of repositioning with different colors. Like, you could tilt it a little bit and have multiple colors going on, or use a lighter color to give it a monochromatic look. Whatever works. A graduation cap, Judy, would be so perfect for him. Absolutely. Well, then he would remind me of, like, what's it called? Bookworm? The actual worm that I remember from Wreck-It Ralph, but I think it was like a, I don't know if it's a cartoon or something. But I think it would just be so perfect. All right. I'm going to do one dark go around, just sort of feather it out a little bit. And then I think we should be good. All right. Ooh, there's a little over here that didn't get ink. Perfect. All right. All right. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. This is perfect. So we've got our little birthday burst, just like this, for our little guy. And then we've got to get his little sentiment going. But I want to do a little bit of splattering too. So let's go in. Yes, from Bug's Life. So what I want to do now is I want to, what do I want to splatter with? I'm going to go in with that Mermaid Lagoon because I like to splatter with oxides. They don't seep into the paper, so they don't kind of branch out. That's okay, Linda. Thanks for being here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to wet this down. I'm not surprised, but my workspace, what you all cannot see, is becoming very messy. And I'm also realizing I don't have a card base, so we'll have to make that together today. So I'm going to go in. Just sort of splatter this. And I like that we've got like multiple sort of colors going on. We've got the Peacock Feathers, which is a little bit more on the teal side. Now we have, I should be using a splatter box. Now we've got this good old Mermaid Lagoon. And I think we're going to do some green next. You, listen, Paulina, you need to introduce every appropriate Disney movie, which is most of them, at any given point. That's my potential, and that for me, I feel like that's going to be my approach to parenting. But absolutely, because of this, he's gonna. Yes, such a good movie. There's that one. The grasshopper can be a little spooky, but I do love this movie very much. All right, I need to do a little bit more splattering, and I want to grab some shimmer. We're gonna do some Lime Ricky shimmer from Catherine Pooler Designs. I'm just gonna shake it, shake, shake, shake. Gotta get that bead going. All right. There, that should be more than enough. I was going to do gold, but I don't think that gold really works that well for this. So we're going to do green. And then we're going to go in with our green. Just sort of play with this. Lots of fun colors. Awesome. Okay. Love it. Which set was the cake slice from? It is from the birthday editions dies, and I do have that listed down below. A little sensitive to scary. That's understandable. I hope he loves the movie, Paulina. I truly do. All right. So we've got this. We got to let this dry a little bit. So let's kind of talk about where this is going. So we're going to have our little caterpillar in the center with his cake slice. We're going to take our sentiment. It's going to go off to the side. I'm just trying, and we're going to do a couple embellishments as well. While this is drying, let's kind of think a little bit ahead, and let's get my card base ready so we can get that good to go and kind of clean up this just a little bit. I like when my splatters dry naturally and when I don't take a heating gun to them, because I've found that it can distort the colors a little bit. The best way you're going to get your colors to dry is by letting them naturally dry. I get that we're sometimes in a time crunch, and even being on a live stream, I don't want to hold y'all here while we wait for almost literal paint to dry. But usually splatters don't take too long. So I'm like, let's take a couple minutes, regroup to something else, and come back when it's ready to go. So let me grab, let's see, there's my scoreboard. And we're going to grab a piece of my card-based paper. I'm going to have to trim it, and that's okay. Just kind of rearrange my station. All right. So let's go in. I really need to be better about having more card bases ready to go. Because I swear, I feel like I never have enough. I'm always like, oh, I need a card base. Oh, now I need a card base. I always need card bases. All right. Linda, I thought that the Lime Ricky worked really well with Mermaid Lagoon too. I love how these colors work. Let's be honest, greens and blues work so perfectly with each other. All right, so we're going to score it. And then, as they say, supposedly, I just learned this like a month ago, you were supposed to bury the bump when scoring. That's like the little audio cue. I forget what it's called. Is it called like a mnemonic? It's a device, a mnemonic device. We're going to say that. Oh my goodness. Do not come to me for pronunciation, for grammar. Come for me for crafting. All right, sorry about the camera just kind of going in and out a little bit. All right, so we've got my card base. So that'll be good to go. Oh, we should put that with it. Awesome. Okay, now how are we doing? It's still a little dry. It still needs to dry just a little bit. Maybe I will hit it with a heat gun. That's okay. All right, let me grab my little gun. Spelled mnemonic. Mnemonic. My goodness. Thank you, Jennifer. You guys both have it, yes, but like I'm sitting... You guys are all telling me the pronunciation. I appreciate you so much. I'm just sitting here like on the fly and I'm like, I don't know if I've ever actually said the word. And I'm like, I can see it in my head, but I see the M and the N together and I'm like, meh, meh. Thank you guys so very much. All right. Oh. All right. Just kind of get it back into place. Oh, it needs a little bit more. I just don't want it to smear, you know? I also like, too, that we've got that Peacock Feathers ink is darker in the center of the burst, and then it sort of gets lighter as we go out. So, and I did intend for that. That's not me just thinking about it after the fact. I really did want it to be that way. All right. All right, so we're going to map this out. And then I am going to use the negative for this. We're going to kind of pop everything into place. So let me grab a little bit of mint tape. Jennifer, that comment's making me crack up. The English language is so hard. It is such a hard language. I'm just, oh. All right, it's your day. So now we just kind of got to pop everything into it. Thank you so much, Linda. It's fun. It's a fun way to kind of combine some different colors and textures and techniques. And now my glue is not coming out, but we're getting there. All right, just gonna go in, use little bits of liquid adhesive. All right, so now I just kind of got to pop this into place. We're going to hold that down. You know what? I should make sure it's not excessively gluey. There we go. So just kind of pop it into place. Just like that. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now the one thing about this, it's your day die. Keep track of the dot above your I and your apostrophe because it's so easy to lose these things and you don't want to. Now, this is really going to help me line this up by saving the negative, just like we did with the smile and the eyes. All right, so just kind of push it into place. And it's also helpful just to like keep track of everything. For example, like some dies, all the letters are going to be connected. This one, the way that it's designed, the D is separate from the A and the Y in day. And I've come across so many designs that like can be so various in the way that it's done. And you just kind of gotta keep tabs on it. And that's why I like to use techniques that kind of keep tabs on it for me. Now, I would consider these letter dies a little on the delicate side. I had originally thought as a way to add a little bit of dimension to my card that I could go in and stack them. I decided against it just because I thought it would be a little too delicate, and I know how I am when it comes to delicate pieces and liquid adhesive. It would be a mess. And I'm like, you know what, Justin? Maybe don't do that. And that's me. That's where white gel pen comes in handy when I lose mine. Judy, the white gel pen is an essential crafting tool for all of us. I was just finishing up some release projects, and I was coloring with my Copics, and that I gave my white gel pen a workout. Let me tell you. All right, let's see. Let's hope. I think I'm gonna try to do those outside of this little guide. Just kind of pull it all up. And see, this is very normal. It's sometimes your letters kind of want to stay stuck to the paper, and it happens, and you just kind of got to go in and guide everything into place. So let's go in with my dot for my eye. How high up did it go? All the way up there? I guess so. All right, we got that. Need a little bit more liquid adhesive on the back of my T, I think. Or are we talking about the precision glue press? Absolutely. Absolutely, Kristen. Or you're talking about a white gel pen, because that's also equally as necessary. All right, now we'll do our little apostrophe. It looks like a little bean, a very little bean. Oh no, bean, come back. All right, we have It's Your Day. Do what you want to do, right? It's your thing. But I was close. I was close. Okay, so now we should just be able to put a little bit of liquid adhesive, no, foam tape on the back of our little caterpillar. And I'm going to take some 3mm foam strips. They're my go-to. And we're just going to kind of start adding those in. Where are my scissors that I didn't bring over? That's okay. We'll use these. And just kind of keep adding these. We'll do one more down here, and then I'll grab another strip. Oh, I have another strip over there already. Where did that come from? That's okay. And then I'm also going to do a couple little squares for behind his little antennas. Awesome. And then he's just going to go right there with his little slice of cake. All right, so we're going to remove our foam tape backing. Kristen, sounds like I am enabling you quite a bit, so I'm glad that you've enjoyed those purchases. Oh no, this little foam square does not want to come off. Perfect. I can always nudge it into place if need be. Just oh, so cute. So cute. Okay, so we've got that. We're not fully done, though. I've got a couple little details I would like to do. And the first is, I want to incorporate another sentiment. And I know you guys are probably like, huh? And the only people who may have suspected this was coming were people who looked down and saw the supply list. Because I also had on the supply list that I wanted to use the brand new Dandelions Stamp Set. And the reason why is because I want to use this little sentiment that says make a wish because it's so perfect because he's got a little slice of cake. And I think we're going to put this on the inside of the card. I know it's small. I just feel like that's going to be where it fits best. And it's going to make me super happy to use it. So totally we're going to get that situated. And I saw a question come in. Where did that come from? How I acquire so many extra pieces of die cuts and whatnots. Need to scrap challenge day soon. Absolutely use the scraps. Yes, for sure. I have a scrap bin that I use all the time. I'm also trying to get better about organizing my cardstock by color. And then when I reach back knowing exactly what color it is. So it's helpful. So we're going to use this sentiment. I need to get my Misty. And I think I left it on my desk where... There's my mini one. We're going to grab my mini. I thought I lost you. Yay, this makes me so happy. So we're going to open my card. Where's my bigger Misty? I just had it not that long ago. Did I put... Oh, it's right there. Okay, we're good. Yeah, because I don't want to distort this too much. So we're going to make this little sentiment that says make a wish, and I think it's going to be so perfect on the inside. And I know it's small, but it's literally, I think, the most perfect sentiment that we could do. Oh, I get it, Jennifer. And sometimes in my mind, I just think too far ahead from what I was talking about them. Like, I forget what was mentioned. Now, let me see. It says very small, make a wish. I want to make sure before we stamp it on the inside I mean, could I fit it somewhere that would make sense? I mean, maybe it would fit in like... I just don't want it to look like an afterthought. So maybe I could. Maybe I can fit it right here. Let's see what we can do. If it doesn't work right, who knows? I just feel like it's going to get over these pierced lines, and I don't want that. Yeah, I think it's going to be better on the inside. I don't want to... I would rather do it that way, because I think it'll be perfect. Could it go on the cake? No. It won't fit on the cake. But it's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I wish I thought about like stamping it somewhere better, but I just don't have... Is there a die cut I could put it on? I know what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of die cutting, but we're going to put the die cut... we're going to see if it fits on the outside or the inside. I haven't trimmed it apart, but that's okay. So let's go in. We're going to do a pink balloon. Let's see. I got to put this back. I have thoughts. I have ideas. And let's see. Let's grab this. Can't show this because this has some non-released images on it. So we're going to do this off to the side. But I'm just going through my stash of things. So let's go in, do this. I have an idea. I think this will work. Wasn't expecting to do a balloon, but we're going to see how we can incorporate this. There is a star in the set too. I don't think it's going to fit on the star, but I know it's going to fit on the balloon. So let's do, we've got the little bits of the balloon. I could, that's a good thought, Jennifer. It's probably something I would do if I wasn't doing a live stream, because I kind of like, I guess when I do a live stream, I'm very like, oh, like, let's just keep it going. But like, if I was here home alone crafting without anybody, I probably would do exactly that. That's a fantastic idea. All right, let's grab a little bit of this rose chintz paper. So we didn't use too much of it. And let's go ahead and die cut from this. Let's grab my scissors. This will coordinate really nicely. Put this off to the side. Thank you all for bearing with me. I think this is a really cute idea. And now I'm realizing that if I put this on the inside of my card, having a white string might not be the cutest thought, but it's okay. It's okay. We will figure this out together. All right, so put this back. There we go for that. All right, so I've got my little balloon. We'll do a little bit of ink blending. Got to put this die cut away. Oh, well, thank you for being impressed. I think I just have to think on the fly sometimes. I don't know. I was not anticipating doing this today. This was not what I originally thought of. I just knew I wanted to use the sentiment, but then I was like, you know what? We can do something cute with it. Something cute. The white string will coordinate with the sentiment. It will. I think we'll come up with something. All right. We're going to use my sticky mat. That's got a little bit of a squeak to it, but that's okay. We're going to stick that down. And then stamp up this Make-A-Wish. So you get that all lined up. I don't want to do embossing powder, even though I know that that would make it pop the best. All right. My Misty has just been a little on the squeaky side lately. Let's grab some Lumberjack Plaid Distressing. If we put it on the inside, I probably will ink the string a little bit, Judy. Sorry about the squeak. I don't reach for this Misty that much, and it might be time for a little bit of oiling or something. Ugh. To the sound, not the way that this looks. I think this looks super cute. So, all right. Let's kind of get this all situated so I can put the squeaky door away. And put my mat over it. Awesome. Okay. Let's also do a little bit of ink blending with picked raspberry. Not to lose that little stamp. Just kind of give it a little bit of a blend. See, we got to think on the fly over here. Kind of just get it all going. This is how these turn out fun. And it's a great use of this Birthday Mug Editions die set. Love that. I might put it inside, Judy. Before I do that, though, I'm going to confirm if I could maybe fit it somewhere on the outside. We'll see. Stay tuned. All right, so where can I fit it? Do I put it behind him? No. I think it is probably going to go on the inside. Or I could just layer it. Oh, we're going to put it right on him, just like a little floating balloon. And it kind of complements the curves of his bodies, too. And there's the chair telling me that it's been sat on for too long. That's okay. All right. Perfect. Kind of clean up a little phrase. Perfect. Okay. Okay. We're going to do it just like that. Let's see, move it down just a little bit. And let's put a little bit of foam tape behind him, just to kind of prop it. Just like that. Just like a little balloon off to the side, floating next to him. I think it's cute. I think it works really nicely. Okay, let's get this onto a card base. That I don't know where I put it. Gosh darn it. Is this it? Where did I put my card base? I was getting so excited about everything else. The card base is now MIA. Oh, Justin, why do these things happen? Well, I have a second piece of paper that we can score. Might as well. Hopefully the other one surfaces later. That would be helpful. Anyways, let's make another card base. You went with your mini Misty. Oh, did it? It fell or something. Fell my mini Misty, but it's not in there. That's okay. I'll find it. Lord knows I'm gonna need it. All right, get this card base going, and then we are just about done after adding a little bit of embellishment and a little bit of cleanup. Oh my goodness. All right. Now watch. Now I'll find it. Now I'll find it because I made another one. But you really can't have too many card bases is the truth, so. Ooh, it's going to be sandwich time soon, too. I am hungry. All right, we're going to put our little dandelion set away. And then we are going to get this onto a card base and add a couple embellishments. So we'll just add some liquid adhesive. Just like that. Pop it on. Oh, I know, Judy. I did put it away. I put that little sentiment stamp away, so we should be good. All right. We're going to have to trim just a tad. All right, let's take my scissors. Just trim that little bit of excess off. Add a couple ultramarine sparkle spots just to kind of complement that blue coloring. It's a lot of sparkle spots. We don't need too many. Just enough. Thank you so much, Barbara. I definitely think it's nice and cheerful too. I don't want to do too many of these either. Just kind of enough to give some embellishment. Oh, what happened? Did it go right? Is it the right side up? It is the right side up. Okay. Because there's like a dull side and a sparkly side to this. So I just want to make sure to use the right side. One right here. Just like this. All right. And then I don't know if I need any more. That might be enough. Maybe. I think that's good. I don't think I need to add more spots. I think that's enough to make it just nice and sparkly. All right, just 3 of them. Look at the back real quick. I might have been able to shove that down a tad to make it fit better, but that's okay. It is a handmade card. It is not meant to be perfect. All right, you guys, we are all finished. And my goodness, this card turned out so cute. All right, let's talk about what we made. So we had fun with the brand new release. We played around with the caterpillar holder die, and we decided to give it a Bug's Life twist, and we used the birthday mug editions die set to add a little bit of a cake slice and also this little balloon that says with the Make-A-Wish sentiment. We also got our It's Your Day sentiment from it as well, and I think it turned out just so perfect. This isn't like a super complicated design either. I know that we tried to give it a little bit of extra detail by also using that checkered or the pierced checkered background panel. So that definitely helped. And that line burst stencil gave a really fun sort of focal element to our little caterpillar too. So I think this turned out super cute, and I'm so excited to get this photographed so we can share and everything. So let me go ahead. I'm going to flip this back over to my face. And now I'm back. All right. My goodness. Y'all, this turned out so cute. I love all of these colors. It's funny, you can see like the lighting difference between being on my craft mat and now seeing it straight on because it looks a little different. But just keep in mind, you can use your inks and your different kinds of inks to transform your die cuts to really customize them to whatever you want. I took this little caterpillar and I was like, you know what? I'm feeling it's a bug's life. And we added some ink with some colored cardstock and we really transformed him. We talked about the different properties of how you can use oxide inks and how they don't seep into the paper and they don't give you that sort of muddy feel. And we also use some distress inks, which are a dye ink, to dye colored cardstocks and just sort of add shading and saturation to them. I think this turned out really, really cute. Oh my goodness, so many kind words. You are all so very sweet. Thank you all so much for your words today. And thank you for being here and spending part of your holiday weekend with me. Holiday weekend for those of us in the United States. Of course, Monday is Memorial Day. Speaking about Memorial Day, do not forget that Pretty Pink Posh is currently having a Memorial Day sale this weekend for 20% off all of your non-new release purchases. So for this card, that Pierce checkered background, that's a panel die cut, that's not going to work, or the Dandelion Stamp Set or the Caterpillar holder. However, if you like that line burst stencil, if you like that mug edition die set, if you want to get your hands on the winter mug base to customize, those are all things that are fair game for that 20% off. Along with, I mean, right now we're talking about the majority of things on the website. Just don't click that new arrivals tab. Everything outside of that, you're good to go. Everything is linked below in the description. So if I inspired you to get a little crafty with your Pretty Pink Posh creations or any other products that I may have used today, please make sure to check out those links below. I do earn a small commission if you shop using them. And thank you in advance for even considering clicking them because I really appreciate it. I will be back next week, same time, more inspiration. I am so excited. We're going to get a little floral next week. I'm planning out all the little logistics of what we're going to happen, but more die cutting, more ink blending, more fun, and I can't wait to share more details with you on that soon. Also, another thing to keep your eyes out for, Kindred Stamps is coming up with their May release this upcoming Friday. Sneak peeks do start tomorrow, so be sure to keep an eye on your socials if you're in the fan club. All the things just to stay up to date, and then that release will go live on Friday. I'll also be going live on the Kindred Stamps YouTube channel on, I believe it's Tuesday. First time for me doing a live during release week, and we're going to do a little bit of a sneak peek at some of the products coming out, do a little bit of creating, of course, get everyone excited for the new stuff that's coming. Thank you once again, everybody, for stopping by. I love our live streams together. I'm so happy with what we've been doing together and this fun little community we have coming together. I appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're here for the full time, whether you stop by for a couple minutes, or you're catching the replay. Thank you so very much for being here. I will catch you next week. Make sure to like and subscribe for future inspiration, and I will see you real soon. Thanks again, everyone, and have a buggy day. Goodbye.